Hey, what is up, guys? True Pyro Shad here, or should I say True Prophet Shad? Budum. That was horrible, but I'm gonna stick with it. But anyway, we're here once again bringing another video, and in today's video, that was actually so bad, Jesus. Today we're gonna be reviewing the latest episodes of Inazuma 11 Ares. So if you guys remember earlier on this year, I think it was back in August, I did a video talking about episode, I believe it was the first 17 episodes. And now we're going to talk about the current episodes that I haven't talked about, which is episode 18 to 24. Now, I did actually do a video where I talked about the match against the Alien Gakken, or Alien Academy in Aris, essentially. But then the news dropped of the new Inazuma Japan, so I thought, well, a lot of the stuff I talked about in that video was invalid. So I didn't upload it, so that was a big feels bad. But we're going to talk about it real briefly today, because it's not the main thing I want to talk about. I'll just real quickly, Hazuki joined Raymon in the first video I did of Aris. I said this is going to happen. Then in the Inazuma Japan thing, I said, no, it's not going to happen. So I contradicted, I gave up on my true beliefs, and then it actually happened. So I'll talk about that, since that's the latest thing that happened. So we've got two matches to talk about today. The first match is against Alien Hiroto and friends, or Tatsuya and friends now, as his name's technically changed. And then also the match versus Endo. So the first match, Aris Academy. So I'm going to talk about this one real briefly, just because I have talked about it, even though I didn't put the video of it. But I think this is one of the better matches. It introduced a lot of really cool characters. Well, brought back a lot of the Alien Academy characters, like Hiroto, now known as Tatsuya, and then actual Hiroto. So for those who do not know what happened there, why there's Hiroto and Tatsuya, so essentially in the original continuity, the old Hiroto, or Tatsuya with the red hair, was adopted by that small chubby guy with the big earlobes. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he was adopted by him and was renamed to Hiroto. But seems though in this continuity, his son didn't actually die, which was Hiroto, which is the current one we have with the grey-haired edgelord. Obviously that means Tatsuya now didn't get adopted, and that's why they're two separate characters. I really like with what they were going for, how one of them's the light of the team and the other one's the darkness of the team. Hiroto being the darkness and Tatsuya being the light. They brought back a lot of visitors in the actual match, which was pretty cool, and obviously upgraded them. The ones that were used, off my head, were Astro Break, Rusei Blade, Drill Smasher and Wormhole, used by, obviously, Reyes, I can't remember his name. I can't remember any of these characters. No, I know Death Arm, well, I only know his alien name. But anyway, you know the character I'm talking about. The match itself, I think it was good. I liked a lot of it. I thought a lot of it was pretty good. I think the build-up of the light versus darkness and the little dream that they had going on. So, like, essentially, like, a big thing about Aris is they've built up a lot of characters, mainly because a lot of these characters are going to be in the next season, which will be the new Inazuma Japan arc. And so, obviously, they've taken the time to develop characters such as Hiroto and Tatsuya, because they've been confirmed for the team, and obviously at the time, you didn't know this. So, a lot of characters got developed towards the second half of the season, which is cool, which seems they're going to be reintroduced as main characters, instead of just an obstacle for the current Raymon team to overcome. So it's cool that we got the little development, how Tatsuya's dream is to be the World Frontier Champions, the Football Frontier Champions, sorry, and our Tatsuya is just essentially seeking, acknowledgement from his father. So that's pretty cool what they're going on there. And I actually really like what they did with Hiroto, how he's the quote-unquote god of goals, because the way he plays is very selfish. He doesn't play every game, but the games he does play, he especially against the weaker teams, he just he goes all out, steals the ball from his teammates just to pad his own stats, which is pretty troll. He will legit decimate the weaker teams, and that's why he had the highest amount of goals scored, and how he gave himself the nickname God of Goals. But his plays were all solo plays, whereas Tatsuya, he's a team player. So that contradiction, like the light and darkness being a player who's completely selfish, and the light being the player who's the prince of the field, they called him, the referee. So that was pretty nice. Um, yeah, good character development, good stuff. Writers of the show, I don't know who you are, but good job in Inazuma. That was good character development. Seems though both of those two are confirmed to be on the Inazuma Japan team, which I'm actually so hyped for that. That good stuff. There's good stuff coming through Inazuma, which is good. Um, as far as the match is concerned, one massive gripe I have, and I've talked about a bit in the previous Inazuma videos, goalkeepers up until Endo, we're gonna get to Endo, sucked. Every goalkeeper was horrible, and except the only exception was Genda from Royal Academy, because he only let one goal on screen. He only let in one goal, and he actually defended a lot of powerful shots from Raymond at the time. So other than that, every other goalkeeper sucks because they don't know what a Hizotoza is, and they just get memed. Like, I'm pretty sure 3 or 4 of the goals scored against Desarm in this match were like, all right, cool. People are shooting the ball, and then someone's gonna run up and tap the ball out of the way. Like one of them, Desarm blocks Fire Tornado with a wormhole, and the guy with the purple afro-y kind of hair, like, I predicted that where your wormhole was gonna land after successfully blocking the shot, so I'm gonna dive and headbutt it into the goal. And that shit is triggering. I hate I hate it how they score goals in that. And like legitimately, goalkeepers are horrible. So there's it's good and bad because goalkeepers used to be overpowered. The only reason goalkeepers used to be overpowered is because the main character of the original Inazuma was obviously Endo, who is a goalkeeper. So obviously, I want to be like, oh yeah, goalkeepers are the shit. Let's go, Endo, block everything, rah rah rah. Even though obviously Endo had to let goals in, but anyway, um, it just felt like the games are so high scoring, which is very unusual comparing it to old Inazuma, because up until Go, most games rarely got to over 4 points scored by other team. Most games were like 3-2s. For obviously whatever team won. If you're excluding the Alien Academy arc, there's a lot of stomps. Okay, the games where the protagonists won were rarely stomps. It was usually always 3-2. There were several exceptions, um, such as the game versus. I'm trying to think of the game. It was one of the games in the Alien Academy arc where they were versing the all girls team, and when they were doing like the recruitment back in the original Inazuma, how they scored like, oh, they went up by like 10 points or some shit. But that never happened, and now you're seeing just really high scoring games all the time, which is like, it's not a bad thing. It lets the field players and strikers shine, especially since the main character is a striker in Aris, being Asto, and Haizaki and Nozaka, which is midfielder. But anyway, so it's cool to see all those characters shine and goalkeepers being weak, but like, I think they could have done it better. Honestly, it's kind of retarded how anything can enter the goal anytime. That's biggest drawback. And I hope they don't. I just wanted them to do Endo justice. It's not that I'm a big Endo fan. I think he's a good character, obviously, as he's the main character. But I didn't want him. I did not want them to do Endo gripe. Yeah. So last takeaways from the Alien Academy game. Hiroto has some of the coolest moves, like the explosion's sick. His dribble move, zigzag strike is sick, and the combination he had with Hiroto, that combination shot was sick as probably my favorite move from Aris so far. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. Oh, Cosmic Blaster. That's what it was called. That move is sick as. That's definitely my favorite move from Aris so far. It's sick as. Definitely. Oh, it's too good, too good. Anyway, excluding that, so the match where he makes his debut, Endo has not appeared at all in Inazuma 11 Ares up until this point. There was a little foreshadowing at the start of the second half of the Football Frontier, but he never like appeared. He was just AFK from Inazuma. It was a bit weird. He makes his debut, and all I'm gonna say is that they did Endo justice. That's all I'm gonna say. They made Endo the best goalkeeper in Inazuma 11 Aris to date, which is what they should do. That's what they had to do. That every other goalkeeper cannot hold a candle to Endo so far in this show. Every other goalkeeper is legit sucked. Like, if we're gonna have a tier system, Endo would be at the top of goalkeepers. And then every other goalkeeper is literally, so Endo's number one. Then you skip about six spots, and then you have the next goalkeeper, which I think is Genda from Royal Academy. Endo is so much better than every other goalkeeper, and you only saw him in like 3 episodes. Oh no, it was only 2 episodes. I'm pretty sure. yeah, 2 episodes of him actually playing, but he's just so much better because they portrayed him well. They kept it old school. But like, I'm just happy that they didn't dog Endo. Not an Endo fan, but they just executed well in his story. And there was only one thing I disliked actually about the match between uh Raymond and Endo's team. I can't remember the name of the team off the top of my head, but yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. So that's positives, positive. You entertained me, and you're good if you entertain me, you know. So let's actually get into the match. So this is the semi-finals. So some points that happen is that the coach decides to leave Raymond. The Raymond team has, it's like saying, oh, like the coach thought they could not beat Endo. Endo was hyped up so hard, which is awesome. I'm fanboying over Endo, and Endo's not even my favorite character, but still, I'm just happy. This is like, this is good. I need to stop being hyped about Endo, but anyway. But the show hyped Endo so hard. Like literally, one episode was dedicated. Like it was episode like 21 or 20, which was like, the Endo is here. Like if people watch My Hero, Endo is like All Might of Inazuma. You know, he's here, dude. The symbol of soccer is Endo in Inazuma. That's what it is. Endo, the symbol of soccer. Anyway, back on topic. So Endo got hyped up by the enemy team, by the Raymond coach. The coach full on wrote a speech of it's like, yeah, look, to the captain, only to the captain, like a little note saying that prepare a good speech for the team after you guys lose. Like the coach left the Raymond team on their own. I can't remember the coach's name, but left him on their own because he believed that Endo was too high of a wall to overcome. And it's cool too because how they portray the characters that their teamwork is insane. Only one of the defender who's on this team that's going to be also on Inazuma Japan. I don't know his name, as to be expected. He was the only like standout player. He was a Libru. I can't say that word, so I'm not going to. I'm never going to say that word again. But he was defender who can attack, he protect, and attack. You know, one of those players. And he did some work. He almost got a goal, but he didn't. So it feels bad. And this team was legit just carried by Endo on an emotional level in the game, and that brought them together as a team, which is cool, as to be expected by Endo. Now, continuing the hype train of Endo. Endo legit stopped everything. Like, it didn't matter what kind of cheesy crap they went for. To be fair, Raymond actually had to do such hardcore cheese to get a goal through Endo, because Endo's margin in the hand was so good. I love the new animation for margin in the hand. It is sick. He stopped Fire Tornado, Ice Arrow, which is apparently a shot now, which is cool that they have that variation. Now it's a pass or a shot, which is cool. They tried to cheese Endo. And they technically successfully did it once, but they tried to cheese Endo where they tried... Apparently the weakest of margin in the hand is that it's weaker on its side, which actually, I really liked this, as Endo usually stands still with margin in the hand and he channels all his energy into the hand he's using to catch the ball. So it kind of makes sense in a way that it's weaker from its sides, because it's kind of hard to... I guess it's harder for him to pivot that energy. That's my only guess, but I didn't mind it. It was cool way, because Raymond had to work hard against Endo because he was just clean, very clean, crisp. Fuck, I've literally just been fanboying over Endo for the past 5 minutes. This is depressing. But what Raymond eventually did. The cool thing, back with Raymond again. This was hard. This was a hard game for them because they were lacking teamwork, which was the opposite of what Endo's team was lacking. The Endo's team was all about teamwork and they were all working really well together. And they got the first goal in the first half pretty easily from that. And so it was hard for Raymond. Then when the first half ended, the captain of Raymond actually went up to Endo and said, "How are you so good?" Blah blah blah. And Endo's a good squad. He gave him advice, and he took that advice to heart, and he helped motivate his team. He literally helped motivate his team, taking them to the next level, I guess, pushing them to go further beyond, And some cool. So how they broke through margin in the hand was interesting. So essentially, it started off with Fire Tornado from that one character, Gojin, I think his name is. So he shot Fire Tornado, then Asto used his dribble, his attack, was it? Dash or whatever it is, to run, to keep up with the ball. He redirected the shot of Fire Tornado by kicking it out of the way. So the whole point of this to beat March in the Hand is that you shoot it from the right side. Because like keep in mind that the weakness, quote unquote, the weakness of March in the Hand was that it wasn't as powerful on its sides. Because Endo, it's hard for him to pivot the energy generated from March in the Hand. And so Endo, so what they initially do to try and do it, so they shoot Fire Tornado, and then it curves from the right side to the left side. So Endo has time to react to this, and then the purple head guy does a headbutt, but Endo was able to react and pivot some of the energy, and it was enough to stop Marge in the Hand. So what they did this to evolve on it for Raymond after Endo successfully blocked it the first time is they did the Fire Tornado again, but this time, like I said, Asto uses his Atoaza to keep up to the ball and redirect it completely, not like partially, but completely from the right side of Margin Hand to the left side of Margin Hand. And then the purple head guy got his Atoaza. It was called Backdraft, I think it was, or yeah, Overdraft, something draft. And so obviously his is much powerful than him just trolling, obviously. And they were able to force Endo to like having to shift his energy he generated from Margin Hand from his right side to his left side. And Endo, even though Endo let a point in, he showed signs of a new Hizuto. It was like, what? So Endo, just classic Endo, evolving mid-match. Even though he lost the point, his drive to never give up created his new Hizuto, which is called Fujin Raijin. So unfortunately, one of the defenders from Endo's team got injured trying to help Endo save the ball. So he got took out. So it's a 10 players on Endo's team versus the 11. And so Raymond go for the same strategy again, where they use Fire Tornado into Inactivity Dash. I've got the wiki. God bless the wiki for letting me read these names. But yeah. So Fire Tornado into Inactivity Dash to redirect the ball from the right to the left side. Then they go for the backdraft. So the triple 3-player play, which it was cool. It was cool to see them do this. So as far as the game is concerned, I'm interested if these mechanics that they're showing in the anime are going to be implemented in the game, like how shot overrides were a thing with like Fire Tornado and triangles and make back in the storm apparently. So it's going to be interesting to see how they what do you want to call it? Implement in the game if they do. But regardless, so Endo then uses his evolved form of Margin Hand, Fujin Raijin, which is actually super cool. So how it works is that he generates the same power from Margin Hand, but instead of focusing it into one point, he splits it in half and has it on both the right and the left. And obviously, he can focus full power in the middle still, which is later shown in the episode. And Endo catches it. Everyone's like, holy shit, how the fuck do we beat Endo? He's smurfing in our game. And Endo is legitimately smurfing in this game. And his team is too heavy to carry. Because his team can't score goals after that one goal. Oh, references. But anyway. Because keep in mind, Endo's team's got 3... He's a player down. This is the one thing I hated. They have like a raccoon mascot. And for whatever reason, that raccoon mascot turned into a human with a tail. And it was weird. The character did nothing. The character shot once and it got blocked, and that was it from this raccoon humanoid thing. It was silly. I did not like that. It was just Inazuma has done stuff kind of like this before. How it's just trolling, I guess. Legitimately, it's weird. It was very weird, and I did not like it because it just seemed very out there and very like. Not Inazuma, I guess. Like, I don't understand why I think they did it back in the... Look, okay, I can't really talk, because after Galaxy is just special for Inazuma, I guess. Yeah, some of the Ghost stuff was fucking so dumb. But anyway, I just didn't like this bit, how the human turned into Raccoon played. I don't know what they were going for here. Maybe that kind of thing's popular in Japan, I guess. I just don't know. I think that was really bad. But that's just my opinion. But yeah. Afterwards, Raymond, this is like end of the thing, and Raymond have to perfect. So the captain, Asto, and what's his name, were practicing a move. The small striker who uses Fire Tornado, that guy, were practicing a move, and they weren't able to perfect it. And it's like, this is the only way we can beat Endo's Fujin Raijin. It is too strong for any of the other moves we have right now. So this is what we have to do it now. And the captain like literally breaks his leg to perform this shot. So it's called Victory Line, and funnily enough, this is the shot that has really good matchup into Fujin Raijin, because the point of Fujin Raijin was to cover up for what was to do what Raymond was doing. How they were cheesing Endo, but Endo didn't get cheesed. He made a new move to like legit stop cheesing, and it like was showing the Mudge in the hand. So Fujin Raijin can cover everywhere from the goal. So what this shot that Raymond did was Victory Line. It splits off into 3 to meet the match victory, the match Fujin Raijin on each side, and it goes to the left, goes to the right, and then it's like the obviously most strongest point is in the middle. So it was cool that his tutorial was specifically designed for the situation. Pretty memey. But the other thing that was cool is that they played a remix of the original Inazuma 11 opening. I wasn't expecting it. The remix is okay, but it was a very epic moment because it was essentially Endo versus Asto in that moment with the hype music, which was good. And it was one of the better moments in Aris so far. I think it's definitely one of the better moments. Considering how badly they butchered the ending of the match versus Haizaki, this is really good. This felt like, honestly, a proper battle between Asto and Endo. And, of course, Endo used to have plot armor, but he's not the protagonist at this point in time. Asto's plot armor was too strong for Endo's Fujin Raijin, and they scored a goal winning the game. So overall, that episode, if you exclude that one bit with Raccoon, was definitely up there for it's probably one of the best episodes in Aris so far. I think it's not the ending. That ending was probably the most hype ending from any of the matches so far, because the music and the build up for everything, and of course like Endo versus the old generation of Inazuma versus the new generation, essentially Endo versus Asto, and Asto just came out on top, and yeah, it was great. It was really cool. I would recommend watching just that moment. The moment was good. The remix is alright. Yeah, they did a good job. So now we're up to the current episode. So TLDR, I don't really care too much about the scale of Aris stuff, but Nozaka is part of the scale of Aris, and he did an agreement with the guy who's essentially supplying, is the what's the word I'm looking for? The sponsor for Scales of Aris, and he doesn't want the players to leave, but it's been built up that the players are done with the Aris system because it essentially just strips away their lives. And Nozaka strikes a deal where if his team wins, which is Gecko, whatever it is called, if they win, they're all set free, and all the players are hyped up, and Nozaka seems pretty keen, even though he's got his brain tumor. So I never really cared too much about Nozaka, honestly. He's made some debuts, but I think the tension of him having a brain tumor is kind of like, it doesn't really matter because he's going to be alright. It seems though he's literally confirmed to be on Inazuma Japan. I guess my only question is that throughout all of Go anyway, throughout all of Go, there was what they always did in Go. They never did this. Oh, they did this once in the original Zuma, but essentially there was the team that was portrayed to be the final boss. But after the final boss, there was another final boss. So the example of this is for the finals in the original Inazuma 11 Go, you had Dragon. So you had the Goenji's team play in the first half, but then the Raymond Go had to verse Dragon Link, which was a gajillion times stronger, and then they got smoked. Then the Raymond barely beat them. Sorry. And then the same thing happened in it didn't happen in it kind of happened in Chronostone, where you had your like best of 3 essentially, where the best of 3 ended in a tie. So the Lagoon played Chronostorm, and then in Galaxy the same thing happened where the Earth 11 versus that one planet's team. I can't remember the name. And then afterwards, Ozrock showed up and it's like, yo, I'm the real final boss. And then again, the only other time this happened for Inazuma was the Genesis, and then the true final boss was Dark Emperors, which was sick as fuck. Good game though. That was entertaining. And so I'm curious if they're gonna do that. But like I said before at the very start of it, the biggest news from this episode was the fact that Haizaki joined Raymond. I've got mixed feelings about it. I was expecting this, and then I wasn't expecting this, and then it happened. I was like, what? The reason I didn't think it was going to happen is because it's the final game, so the team has no practice with Haizaki, and it's kind of weird. Haizaki's been built up to be this selfish player that is willing to work with his team to win. So I'm curious how he's going to work with Raymond 11. They didn't show the whatever the training they did was. But I think it's cool that 100% Haizaki and Asto are gonna have a combo shot and they're gonna win. 100%. That's what I'm expecting, and it better be something awesome. Penguins and gulls, something like that, because Asto's shot is that move. It's called Shining Gull, so it's that move. It's cool. It's pretty good. And then Haizaki uses penguin shots like overhead penguin and shit. I can't remember the other one. Overhead penguin and damn, I actually can't remember the other one. But it was Emperor Penguin something. He has penguin shots. I like the penguin shots. They're cool. And I'm gonna it's interesting how Haizaki fits in, because obviously the last kind of plot points is Haizaki and his character development and working with Asto versus Nozuka and whatever's coming for him. It should be pretty entertaining. I just wish they did it better, because they kind of took two things where Asto, like in Go, how Shinto, the captain of the Raymond for the entire time up to the final match, got injured, couldn't play. That happened here. It was very like subtle though, I guess. There's like more like, oh, your foot's kind of sore, and then it's like you're not playing because your foot's kind of sore. It's like, oh, okay, well, Shinto full on like collapsed because he was overworking. It's like, oh shit, what the hell? This is like, oh, okay, I guess they're legit just trying to make Haizaki join the Raymond team. And then Haizaki joining the Raymond team is like how Kiddo joined the Raymond team, but there's like, it just happened. I feel like there was no build up for it. Like obviously you could say it was kind of like I thought it was being teased. And then I thought, oh, well, they've given up on this. It's whatever. And then it's like, it just happened. So I didn't like how that happened. How I liked that it happened. I think it's cool. Asto's also captain, which is the other takeaway from this. But I just don't like how it happened. I think they could have had another episode before this one, kind of saying, oh, we need another player, and oh, our captain's injured, blah blah blah. His foot took a lot of damage from all this overworking, blah blah blah, or something like that. And then like Asto having another chat with Haizaki, and then actually trying to scout out a player, and no one's like, oh, I'm not too good at soccer. And then have this happen, but it all just, I think they're trying to go too fast towards the end here, which that's one thing about Aris. It is a very fast-paced show, which is not a bad thing, but so I think for this they should have slowed down. But obviously I think they want to try and wrap things up now, because obviously what everyone's hyped about for Inazuma is definitely Inazuma Japan. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you've stayed around this entire time, I know it's a very long video, but yeah, thank you for listening to my thoughts. Yeah, hope leave a comment about what you think about everything I discussed. And yeah, I think I will try to do, instead of one big review, probably some more just little reviews. But that's about it really. Anyway, guys, this is True Pyro Shad signing out. Peace.